we're going in search of one of the true mysteries of Australia that's still left unsolved. Well, we've just pulled in on the riverbank here. We're going for a bit of an adventure. We've heard that there's some old rock art, like really ancient old rock art, and it's a bit of a mystery that's still unsolved, the yarn behind this rock art. So we're gonna go see if we can find any of that. And there's also, this is up above that waterfall we were at yesterday, so there's all these different swimming pools I saw on the drone. So we're gonna go have a swim, have a bit of a walk, and see what we can find. And of course, you guys are coming along for the adventure.
Nice hat.
Oh, and my favorite hat got burnt, so now I'm going to end up with a sun-bleached scalp, but it's all I've got. I'll pull you in. Yep, go. Oh. Alright, so we've made it up to the top of those falls that we saw yesterday, and now we're going in search of one of the true mysteries of Australia that's still left unsolved. So we're going to start trekking upstream here and see if we can find what we're looking for. I think we should come up here, guys. Oh, Fran, come have a look. So my interpretation of this, that's a Tasmanian tiger, now extinct. And this is some traditional Aboriginal rock art. I wonder if they used to leave anything in these little letterboxes.
The Aboriginal people of Australia have lived here and painted the walls of caves for over 60,000 years, making them one of the oldest civilizations known on Earth. But today we're looking for a certain style of ancient cave painting that opens up one of the world's true mysteries.
Oh, there's some good overhangs here. And this would have been such a basic spot back in the day. The people really relying on this fresh water for drinking, and then all the fish and turtles and bush tucker that comes with it. Well, that looks like a good spot there. What have you found? I'm gonna have to go up and have a look up there. There's a definite Bradshaw painting. Oh. This is probably the clearest Bradshaw here. Look at some of the decorative headwear they've got on. The head. Yeah, look at the tassels and the get up they're wearing. So these Bradshaw paintings are what we've been looking for today. Since I first read about these, they've absolutely blown my mind. This style of painting has really opened up a can of worms on the whole history of Australia, and it's still a mystery that today is unsolved. So they go by the name Bradshaw paintings because a bloke by the name of Bradshaw was the first European fella that come and seen them. So they took on his name. The whole mystery about them is that, as you can see quite clearly, they are totally different to any Indigenous Australian rock art that I've seen. And the yarn behind these cave paintings has been highlighted by a bloke by the name of Les Hiddens, better known as the Bush Tucker Man, an Australian legend. He highlighted that the Australian Indigenous people disown this type of art. They reckon it's rubbish drawings. Times like we've seen today actually painted over the top of them. So it just raises the question, if they didn't paint them, then who did? They remind me of like Africa, Madagascar, that kind of a theme. You know, the characters are wearing the big headdresses and they've got the jewelry and similar to art that I've seen, you know, in modern day out of these types of places. And still today, the theory that I reckon is the most feasible, the key to it lies in one of the trees of the area here that is symbolic to this Kimberley region. I'm going to find that tree and share with you that yarn.
I reckon this one complex with the two.
Yeah.
And then the horns and the hat here.
So the Bradshaw rock art images are intriguing and unlike any other rock art found in the Kimberley. They show a progressive decline in artistic technique and ability. This provides an interesting mystery yet to be solved and raises many questions. Are the first classic realistic images the result of an early migration of a different culture? All right, yes, this is the one we've been looking for. This tree here behind me is the boab tree, and there's a link between this tree, which is iconic to the Kimberley area, and those Bradshaw paintings we were just looking at. The link between this tree and those Bradshaw paintings comes in this nut, the boab fruit or the boab nut. So this tree is only found in a couple of places in the world, one being this area of the Kimberley and Africa. And if you look on a map where you find the Bradshaw paintings, these guys are here as well. There's a direct link between the boab tree. The theory is, long before Captain Cook set sail out for Australia, you know, thousands of years prior to that, there was other people sailing around the world doing their best. And no doubt they would have been going into Madagascar, picking up crew, and at the time they were slaves there, and then setting sail. And this fruit would have been a vital staple. As you can see, that hard nut on the outside, that would survive for, it survives for months and months and months, and then you can eat the stuff inside. So they would have loaded up their boat with this boab nuts, and then the theory is one of these many vessels has become shipwrecked on a certain part of the Kimberley coast. They've come ashore with their boab nuts and, you know, ended up getting along pretty well in Australia here, and that's where you see the Bradshaw paintings. And I think our iconic Kimberley boab tree came with those blokes all those years ago. But that's not it. This is where it gets really interesting. So the Dreamtime story of the Aboriginal people here in Australia is that these boab trees, back in the day, they were the most beautiful, staunch, biggest trees in all the land, but they were a bit big-headed. They were arrogant. The spirit of Mother Nature pulled and uprooted these trees, tipped them upside down, jammed his big head into the ground. And what we see up here is just what was the root system. Now, the funny thing is, back in Madagascar, their people have got the exact same yarn. It's one hell of a coincidence. Holy moly. You guys have found the jackpot over here. So you found a safe little spa, Fran?
Yeah.
So where are we going to swim in this one?
Yeah. Head first.
Sounds good. Little croc has been sunning himself up here. He's just come off and I spooked him. He's gone into the water there. He was probably just over a metre long, that one, so that one personally couldn't harm me, but if he gets here, you know, there's all the chance that a big one could get here. So we do have to tread very lightly here and only swim in those, something else scampering here, only swim in those little rock pools where we can see the bottom. Fran, I just saw a croc there. Just a little one, like only a metre, but he'd come off there to the right of you. And then I spooked him and he slid off and just jumped into this pool here.
This one.
Yeah. We've got maybe 10 minutes of fishing left until we've got to race the sun home. Back up our creek camp, so the pressure's on. Take it steady. Oh yes! Woo!
6 centimetres.
Take it. He's got a bit of jumping to do yet. Great cast.
Oh, it smells very well.
All right, what do you want? What do you want to happen here?
I'll let it run a little bit. Oh, no, please come back.
Here, do you want me to just grab the leader?
Yes! There's that
Well
crispy,
done.
crispy skin barra.
So why was there so much pressure to catch a barra today?
Because it's Jack's birthday and all he wished for was crispy skin barra.
Well done.
Crispy skin barra.
Well, I couldn't catch one, so thanks for sorting us out.
Happy birthday.
The last cast.
What is it on the last cast?
I might have got myself a birthday barramundi.
You need to
Up to
grab
you,
it?
mate.
Woo!
So what are you cooking, Fran?
Crispy skin barra and off-wheat chips if I don't get them.
This is the crispy skin barra she's done up. Far better than my last attempt that made it on YouTube. And we've got some chips going as well. Thanks for dinner, Fran.
You're welcome. Happy birthday.
Right, great, thank you.